Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lily. I am a makeup artist, and today I want to talk to you guys about how to break into the industry as a beginner makeup artist. Now, before I reveal to you these trade secrets, I want to remind you just to subscribe, like, and comment if you have not already. It really does help boost my profile and help me grow. But before I talk about how to actually break into the industry and become a makeup artist, I want to talk about how to know if being a makeup artist is right for you, because of course it's not right for everyone. There's many things to consider between taking your own clients, what it's like to run your own business, communicating with clients, health, travel, taxes, money, a kit, school. There's lots of things to consider, so make sure you do your research before you decide to jump into a career like this. I am your research. Before we get into all that though, I want to bring up the topic of school versus no school. You know, every makeup artist decides to take their own route on whether they want to be entirely self-taught, whether they want to take just some classes, or if they want to go ahead and take a makeup course. There is, of course, cosmetology, and then there is actual makeup classes, which gives you a certificate and entitles you, I believe, a master makeup artist. I live in Texas, so it's not required that you have a certificate to be a makeup artist, but it is something you can do, and you do have to do a certain amount of hours and a certain amount of looks and types of looks and get a certain amount of like learning hours, and I'll explain more of this in a minute. But just know that there's an option to do cosmetology where you can mostly learn hair. Honestly, cosmetology is about cutting, coloring, styling, all that. The makeup segment really only goes over the beginner portion of makeup, so I wouldn't say if your real hobby is makeup that you should go into cosmetology school. But if hair is your thing, yes, I would recommend that. But for me, makeup is what I was most interested in, so I decided to go to a makeup school. And it required I complete 720 hours, and you go through, I don't know how many modules it is, but it's quite a few. There's bridal, there's HD, there's airbrush, there's special effects, there's period makeup, there's just so much. You go over everything. Now, like I said, in Texas, you are not required to be licensed, but of course, if you go to school, they're going to provide you with a kit. You're going to get one-on-one teaching. You're going to get one-on-one practice with other students of different skin tones, types. So you're going to get a lot more experience and a lot more supplies if you do go to school. However, now that I've gone through school, I don't know how worth it was for me to go through school. You know, like I only learned so much as far as like how to get into the industry goes. Like, I learned some makeup, but more what I needed to know was how to get into the industry, and that's not really what they focus on teaching. Of course, I will give them credit for the things that they did help me with. They did teach me how to do makeup on clients, you know, sanitarily. Obviously, I've never done makeup on clients before, so I wasn't sure how I should set up or what I needed to use and what needed to be used with disposables and what didn't, and you know, that whole 9 yards. So I did learn that, and I had never done airbrush before, so I learned airbrush at school. I'd never done special effects before. I learned special effects at school, but everything else, it was kind of just like, I mean, I guess this is kind of the point, but it was just kind of like building on what I already knew. So it would just be like, hey, just do this makeup look, and they would show you how to do it, but it's like, a lot of the times you didn't really need to see how to do it. You could just like look at a picture and do it. At least for me, I don't know. But obviously, like, I know that I did learn and that I did grow, and obviously through practice and time and effort and trying to work on all these different people, like I learned what works for myself and different techniques on how to work on other skin tones, and you know, like I did learn. Like, I'm not gonna say that I didn't learn anything. I just think, considering that I'm still in it to this day and I have to finish my last 100 hours by January 25th, that makes 9 months of being in this program some of the hardest 9 months of my life. I got into a car accident, I broke 2 bones, separate occasion, it's just been a train wreck, you know, lots of different job changes, trying to make money this whole time. It's been COVID times. It's been a lot. But luckily I'm getting through it, and like I said, I have 3 more weeks and then I will finally be done. But looking back at it now, I wish I would have finished 4 or 5 months ago. Like, it's just been dragged on to the point and I haven't learned anything with them in months, where I'm literally just wasting my time. Like, I'm just sitting here trying to clock hours. I don't have any more theory. I don't have any more operations. I finished that over a month ago. But yet, I still have 100 hours to do, so there's nothing I can do about that until I finish it. So yeah, these are things to consider with makeup school, as well as the fact that you are paying probably roughly 10 grand or more for the school you're going to. So you just really want to determine if the money and the time and the effort is worth it for you, or if you think that you can learn all this stuff on your own. And also if you need a startup kit, because that is something super nice that they do provide, you know, as part of the school system. Like, obviously I had my own makeup, but everything was used on myself, so only so much of it was sanitary, and I had to buy, well, I would have had to buy so much stuff for all these different other skin ranges that wasn't just for me. So to be able to have this startup kit, even though not everything was the best quality, was really helpful. So it's really up to you, just the route that you want to go. For me now, I mean, it was an hour drive every single day, and to each their own. But yeah, so for just a kind of rundown on the way it works, the schedules would either be 9 to 5 or 6 to 10 p.m. and then you would come 5 days a week versus 4 days a week for the first schedule, and you would come in and you would learn something about the module, you would take notes, you would watch a teacher do a demo, and then you would workshop on yourself or a classmate basically until class was over. And then for the last hour you do like classroom learning, so stuff like bacteriology and the history of cosmetics, stuff like that, just to kind of give you an idea of how to be healthy and how makeup came to be, just stuff like that. But anyways, let's get into actually how to break into the industry as a makeup artist, okay? You decided you're a makeup artist, you know how to do makeup, you're ready to get into the world, and you just want to know what's next. How do I start talking to people? How do people find me? How do I get clients? Where do I begin? And I am here to tell you. So the best advice I can give any creative that's looking to break into the industry would be TFP. Time for print, time for partnership. I don't know. There's tons of different acronyms, but I use time for print because you're giving your time in order to get pictures of your work. Oh, trade for print. They use that one too. Now, you are going to find TFP groups mostly on Facebook. I'm sure there is, you know, people, there's not really like groups on anything else, but you can find that your area will have like kind of a community of TFP models, photographers, makeup artists, hairstylists, wardrobe stylists, creative directors, you know, everything, the whole 9 yards. So what you want to do is you want to find those Facebook groups in your area that are TFP, that are collaborative, that are paid, and you want to join them, because there is going to be tons of creatives on there asking for makeup artists, and that's you. So at this point, you might not have that much content, but you do want to make sure that you are reaching out to these people and linking them to your website or your Instagram or just portfolio, you know, anything so that they can see your work and just kind of like back up your credibility. And then you want to start commenting on everyone's post that's asking for a makeup artist. Start finding these people on Instagram, reaching out to them, reaching out to the people they follow, the models they work with, the photographers they work with, the makeup artists they work with. Reach out to anyone in your area that can help you network and just kind of like find your way. For me, I actually started joining TFP groups right after I started healing from a broken foot and ankle. So I kind of hit the ground running because I was tired of being in bed all day. I learned about modeling and fashion while I was bedridden, and I decided, okay, maybe I could be a model. Maybe I could get into that. And so I did, I want to say, almost 20 TFP shoots my very first month of modeling. All this time later, Lord knows how many I've done, but I've got some published. And of course, I've done work that I'm just really proud of, and I've been able to work with so many different creatives and just expand my portfolio and my ideas and try out different makeup looks and different outfits and different poses and different lighting techniques. And it's just a really good opportunity to explore yourself as a creative. But the most important thing this does for you is this gives you great images for your social media and portfolio, and you can also get put in magazines, which gives you tear sheets, which makes you seem even more credible because a magazine wanted to publish your work. But one of the greatest gifts that TFP brought me was all of the creatives that I met along the way. I met so many like-minded people and so many people that have helped me get to where I am now, 5-6 months later. If it weren't for TFP, I would not have the knowledge, the experience, the networking, the portfolio, the clients that I currently do. I mean, 90% of my current clients come from someone that I met through TFP, someone that knows someone that knows someone, because that's how it works. Once you break into the industry, you start, spreading your name around. So if you start doing makeup for someone that really likes you and they vouch for you for someone that's willing to pay you, boom, you just got a paying client. 90% of the makeup I do currently is headshot makeup, and also, side note, hair. As a makeup artist, you will need to know how to do light hair. There's almost no way around it unless you want to say no to money. However, it is really not that hard to curl or straighten hair and maybe pin some of it back, maybe put some of it up, it just, you learn one time, you're making money for life. But most of my clients have been through other photographers that I have met and photographers that have recommended me to other photographers who have hired me for makeup. It's like you model for them, you say, hey, look how good my makeup looks. Wouldn't you like it if I did this on all your models? And they say, you know what? I would. You're hired. In fact, most of the work that I do is actually for a headshot photographer that moved here from California, and she previously had a full-time makeup artist that she used for her headshots who decided she wanted to be a flight attendant. So someone that I work with a lot, TFP, that actually gives me money anyways, but he really likes me and I do makeup for him and modeling for him, and he recommended me to this photographer and she said, okay, I'll try her out, and I've been working with her ever since. We do, I want to say on average, like 4 clients a week or so. So I got very, very lucky meeting all these amazing people who want to help me and support me and take a chance on me and, spread my name out there and give me an opportunity to prove myself. And I've really enjoyed, like I said, exploring who I am as a creative and seeing what I can do, because, it's like you never know what's possible until you try. And working with all these amazing people, I'm meeting all these social media famous people, all these TikTok famous girls, and I'm like, maybe I could do that one day. But yeah, so this is how I would recommend that you really begin to break into the industry. There are other methods of trying to get signed with an agency or working for companies. There are tons of beauty companies out there. If you wanted to go more store route like Ulta or Sephora, you definitely can. Or there's other places like I worked Fright Fest at Six Flags this year. I was a haunted house / scare zone makeup artist, so we work primarily special effects and airbrush. Or another example, I worked at a senior portrait studio this year where kids who are about to graduate high school come in and they get their hair and makeup done before their graduation pictures. So there's lots and lots and lots of routes that you can take with makeup. I mean, you can try to do music videos, you can try to do movies, you can try to do just special effects, you could try to do illusion makeup, you can try to do bridal makeup, you could try to do editorial, magazine type, HD, newscaster makeup. Like, the possibilities are endless, really. But you need to really do your research and just kind of try everything out, you know? You never know what you're gonna really love. And it's like, for me, I didn't know that I would like special effects. I mean, yeah, sure, it's interesting, but I never tried it before because I never really thought like I could do that. I didn't know that it was like easier than it looked. But then when I learned, I started working at Six Flags like literally 2 weeks later and did special effects for like 3 months straight. You never know. But yeah, figure out what works best for you, what system works best for you. If you freelance, you want to make sure that you're very well organized, that you have a digital calendar. I also have a physical calendar. Mine is highlighted and color coordinated so I can tell school, by clients, by appointments, by birthdays, by holidays, by, you know, whatever it is at a glance, because I want to know what I need to do when. And if you don't have that ready, you will be missing clients and appointments and you'll wonder why. Well, because you weren't organized and you let it slip away from you. And if you have an upcoming shoot and you're like, oh no, I forgot about that, I scheduled something else, that doesn't look very good on your part. Keep up with your calendar, keep up with your kit, keep up with your receipts, your mileage, your gas. Make sure that you are organized on all platforms. Downsize your kit. You don't need a huge kit. You need what you need in small containers, and that's it. Not everything has to be full size. You want to make sure you have everything that you want, but I mean, look, do you need this whole thing in your kit? No, you don't. I have this powder in little tiny containers like this, and I just pour a tiny bit out for every client, and it works amazing. So don't think that you have to lug around this giant kit just because all your products are so big. You do not. You can downsize and make things easier for yourself. Just keep everything organized, keep everything where it needs to be, make sure things aren't getting expired, they are sanitary, that you are using disposables, that you have stuff for every skin tone, skin type, primers, moisturizers, everything. If you guys want me to do a separate kit video, kit tour, how I organize, how I depot, I definitely will, but that's just too much to get into with all this, which is already kind of too much to get into, honestly. Another thing I want to mention is that going into the makeup industry, you think that every day you're going to be doing something like this. You're not. People are not booking you to do this to their face every day. Obviously, this is much more of a modern, kind of trending, Instagram-y type look, but this is really not what people pay you for. Most of what I do is barely even any eyeshadow. It'll be the most simple neutral blend you've ever seen with the most classic eyelash and pink lip, and that's it, because people just want to feel beautiful. They don't want to feel like it's too much, like it's not them, like they're extra. Of course, that varies based on your clientele and what you do, but for what I found, most clients or people that are looking to get their makeup done the most often are going to be these more simple neutral glam clients. Even if you're doing like more bougie higher end clients, they might want something more dramatic, but it's usually still very neutral. Always continue to build your business. Always reevaluate your rates and what you're worth and what your kit's worth and what your travel's worth and what your time is worth. Update your portfolio, update your website, constantly be networking, meeting new people, planning new things. you want to grow and you want to get your name out there, and you're never going to do that if you aren't producing images and putting them out there and talking to people about them and your work and how you can work for them. And you know, it's all give and take. And so it's just like, I really want to get somewhere with my career, so I'm doing everything that I can in the time that I have in order to meet everyone that I can that's going to help me get somewhere. It is a lot to keep up with. It's a lot, especially for me right now while I'm in school, and then everything that happens in your personal life, and people are texting you and they're Instagram messaging you and they're Facebook messaging you, and it's just like people are talking to you on all different forms, and you have to keep up with every single one, with dates, with concepts, with deposits, with who's paid you, who hasn't, when you're getting paid, how much money you're gonna make, how are you gonna pay your bills. It is a lot to keep up with, but it's a passion, and you know, it's the dream job. So even though sometimes I don't want to wake up for that 5 a.m. sunrise makeup look, I still do, because I want that opportunity to practice on a client and meet someone new, produce those images, sharpen my skills, and grow. There is so much that I have learned this year about makeup in the makeup industry that I would love to teach to you guys. So if you have any specific questions, or there's something that I mentioned in this video that you would like a sub video about, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys found this at least semi-informational. Again, this is about 9 months of learning that I've had to do, so yeah. And don't forget, you guys can message me on Instagram or anything if you have any questions. I will definitely get back to you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.